You too, and a very good morning, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Welcome once again to the Sunday Puja in Unison. Dhamma sharing online, organized by Masataka Buddhist Society, and a program initiated by Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia. Today is the 21st of August, 2022. Hope everyone is staying healthy and staying safe. To start today's puja, I shall pass the mic over to Sister Xiu Feng to start and read the offerings to the Buddha. Over to you, Sister Kut.
Thank you, Brother Terence. Suki Hotu and good morning, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. As always, when we can come together for today's Sunday Puja, we consider ourselves very blessed. And it is also a good start or a good end to the week if you consider Sunday as the end of the week, or if you consider Sunday as the first day of the week, then we consider that it is a good start to the week. It reminds us of the teachings of the Buddha. It reminds us of the importance of taking refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. And it also reminds us that the 5 precepts is very important in our life. Now let us compose our minds, focus our attention on the offerings that we place on the altar as I read the significance. Offering of lights. May we offer these candles burning brightly out of deep respect and veneration to our enlightened Master, the Buddha. May these lights symbolically guide us to the light of the Dhamma, which dispels the darkness of greed with the light of generosity, the gloominess of hatred with the light of love, and the darkness of ignorance with the light of wisdom through the Buddha, the Dhamma, and Sangha. Offering of joss sticks and incense. May we offer these joss sticks and incense out of deep respect and veneration to our blessed Master, the Buddha. May our good deeds be like the fragrance of these joss sticks, cultivating compassion, patience, tolerance, understanding, and love towards all living beings. Offering of water. This clean, clear water that we place on the altar, let it symbolize our aspiration to cultivate the virtues of calmness, clarity, and purity. Let it remind us to diligently cleanse ourselves of our spiritual defilements and delusions through the cultivation of generosity, compassion, and wisdom. Offering of flowers. These flowers too that we offer out of deep respect and gratitude to our compassionate Master, the Buddha. These flowers, sweet, beautiful, and choice, are clustered at the feet of our noble Master. Beautiful as they are now, they will soon, with the passing of time, wilt and fade and be cast away. Reflecting thus on this very nature of unsatisfactoriness, impermanence, and soullessness, let us tread the path shown by the Buddha for the eradication of sufferings here and now. Now let us also focus our minds as we begin the Sunday Puja. We shall now begin the puja by saying sadhu 3 times as the mark of respect and homage to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu miccacara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majjapamaddatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vijjacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manussanam Buddho Bhagavati. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sandittiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Opanaiko Pachatang Veditabbo Vinyahiti. Satipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidam Chattari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Puggala Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakhineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Punyaketang Lokasati. Vandami cetiyang sabbang Sabbatane supatititang Saririkadatu mahabodhing Buddha rupang sakalang sada Yasamule nisindova sabbari vijayang aka Patto sabbanyutang satta Vande tang bodhipadapang Ime ete mahabodhi lokanate na pujita Ahang pite namasami bodhi raja namatute Ganasarapaditena dipena tamadangsina Tilokadipang sambuddhang pujayami tamonudang Ganda sambara yuttena dupena hang sugandhina Pujaye pujaniyantang puja bhajana muttamang Adivase no bante paniyang parikappitang Anukampang upadaya patigang hatu muttamang Adivase no bante bojanang parikappitang Anukampang upadaya patigang hatu muttamang Adivase no bante gilana pacayang imang Anukampang upadaya patigang hatu muttamang Vannaganda gunopetang etang kusuma santating Pujayami munindasa siripada saruruhe Pujemi buddhang kusumena nena punyena metena cahotu mokkang Uppang milayati yatha idang me kayo tathayati vinasa bhavang Akasatta ca bhummatta devanaga mahidvika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakhantu loka sasanang Akasatta ca bhummatta devanaga mahidvika Punyantang anumoditva cirang rakhantu desanang Akasatta ca bhummatta devanaga mahidvika Punyantang anumoditva cirang rakhantu mang parang Devo vasatu kalena sasa sampati hetu ca Ito bhavatu loko ca raja bhavatu dhammiko Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hantu nyatayo Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hantu nyatayo Idang me nyati nang hotu sukitahantu nyatayo. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yavanip banapatiya. Kayena vaca cittena pamadena maya katang acayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata. Kayena vaca cittena pamadena maya katang acayang kamame dhamma sandittika akalika. Kayena vaca cittena pamadena maya katang acayang kamame sangga supatipanna anuttara. Karaniya Metta Sutta. Karaniya Matta Kusalena Yantang Santang Padang Abhisamecha Sakko Juca Sujuca Subhaco Casamutu Anatimani Santus Sakko Ca Subharoca Apakit Joca sallahu kavutti santindriyo ca nipakoca appagabbo kulesu ananugiddo naca kuddang samacare kinciyena vinya pare upavadeyong Sukino va kemino hontu sabbe satta bhavantu sukitatta ye kecipana bhutatti tasava kavarava anavasesa Digava ye mahantava Chimara sakanu katula dittava yeva additta ye dure vasanti avidure bhutava sambhave siva sabbe satta bhavantu sukitatta Naparo parang nikubeta nati manyeta kata cinang kanci biaro sanapati gasanya nanya manya sadukha miceya mata yata niyang putang Ayusa eka putta manurakke evang bisa babutesu manasang bhavaye aparimanang mettang ca sabbalokasmin manasang bhavaye aparimanang Uddang ado ca tiriyan ca asang badang averang asapatang titang carang nisindo va sayano va yavata savigata migdo Etang sating aditeya brahma metang viharang idamahu ditinca anupagamma silavadasanena sampanno kame suvinaya gedang nahi jatu gappaseyang punareti. Etena saccavajjena sottite hotu sappada. Etena saccavajjena sottite hotu sappada. Etena saccavajjena sottite hotu sabada. By this declaration of the truth, may you be safe at all times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Over to you, Brother Terence.
Thank you very much, Sister Good. Today we have back with us Brother 𝐾𝐶 to share on his head is on fire, is it? He's still, I look at him, he's still very handsome, but I don't know why he say his head is on fire. Now, I shall pass the mic over to him. Over to you, Brother 𝐾𝐶.
Okay, thank you, Brother Terence, for the introduction. Now, happy morning, Namo Buddhaya, brothers and sisters. I thank you for joining this morning Dhamma sharing entitled "My Head is on Fire." I think I have purposely choose this topic. My head is on fire, even though you can see my head is not on fire, but there is some burning fire in my head that nobody can see. I think all our heads are on fire. It's just that we can't see the fire which is burning right now. So I want to choose this topic just to use the sutta from the Buddha and show some urgency in our practice. Okay, so stay on with me. Don't leave yet, because when I finish, you know what kind of fire is burning in all of us. So let me start off by sharing the screen. Okay, so before I begin, let us all compose ourselves to pay homage to our Supreme Buddha, the Blessed One, the fully self-enlightened being. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let's begin our Dhamma sharing this morning. My head is on fire. So this is just a simile, you don't see my head is on fire, but this is a nice simile or metaphor used by the Buddha in many of his discourses. The popular one is one that deals with the ascetic fire practitioners at the time called the Kassapa brothers. Yeah, the Buddha has used the simile of fire to get the 1,000 practitioners at the time to become arahant. So you can see that the metaphor using fire, has given this Kassapa brothers an urgency to practice and realize the truth. So hopefully, in my sharing itself, we can see that even though the fire is invisible in our head, but if we can practice in the right way, hopefully we can also find the way out of this samsaric cycle that we are in at the moment. Because life is just a journey. We have come from the past life to this present life, and there'll be many more future life. So you can see the journey is going and going and going, and we don't realize that we are actually in a stream of continuous becoming, birth after birth. So the Buddha is trying to uses metaphor, to excite us, to say, if you like to stay here, it's going to be more fire, more fire, more fire. So you better get out of this fire. Fire is burning us, and let's get out of this fire as quickly as we can. So just a reflection, sometimes do you think the fire is caused by our spouse? Is my wife making my head on fire? Or your husband is making your head on fire? So is the fire burning inside our head on its own, or is it some other external factor that causes us to burn? Okay, so that is a reflection that you can take. I think the easiest reflection you can do is that when we are angry, right? When some things that you expect to happen but didn't happen the way you want, you get angry, or you see things that is unpleasant, you get angry, or things don't follow, the way you instruct and it turn out differently, you get angry. Just observe your anger. Do you find anger pleasant? Anger is hot, isn't it? It's hot, right? When we are angry, our body get heated up too, and then because there is this fire energy that's burning inside us, the anger fire, it causes us to move forward, then we use vulgar words, or we become rough in our action by throwing chairs, some even throw knife, so you can see that the fire that's burning us, anger is one of the fire that's burning us, is causing us to take some form of action. So let us start off with by looking at how all this begin. So it's good for us to reflect a moment and look at what are these fire that's burning inside us, which are invisible to our eyes. Okay, these are what the Buddha referred to as the mental corruptions, or the mental defilements. There are so many that is already with us since the time we are born, time immemorial, from past life to this present life. This mental corruption has been with us for such a long period that it almost by nature is us, is by nature. So it's good for us to know what are the mental corruption, and you do a short reflection on your own whether these kind of things are there, planted in our mind. Okay, so we start off with that first. So let's look at the 14 akusala dhamma. Yeah, the 14 immoral mental factors. Yeah. So if you look at this list of mental factors, the top three are usually referred as the main three, the main evil roots, which is very commonly used in most of the Dhamma sharing. Greed, which is lobha, hatred, dosa, and ignorance, which is moha. So these are the very common three evil poisons or three evil roots that is already planted in us. And with these three main evil roots, then you have a lot of other sub-roots that surfaces out in our daily action through verbal or even bodily action or even mental action. Yeah, so you can see the smaller roots are all down there, having wrong views, shamelessness, jealousy, pride, recklessness, selfishness, distraction, worry, sloth, torpor, and doubt. So all these are the smaller akusala dhamma that is already in our mind, which if we don't take notice of it, it gets strength, right? It slowly gets strength and it builds up its momentum, and it causes us to burn with inside us that prevent us from seeing things the way it should be. Okay, so these are the 14 akusala dhammas that is already with us in time memorial, is already with us. So the whole discussion basically is how can we reduce these 14 akusala dhammas? Reduce it. The best is to completely eradicate it. If we can eradicate all this akusala dhamma, then we are already coming to the end of this journey in samsara. In short, it said, you have attained nibbanic bliss. When we don't uproot all this akusala dhamma, which is embedded in us, this will always be carried, again and again from life after life. All right. So once you recognize this akusala dhamma, which is built in us, the next thing is that, what the practice is where it comes in. Okay. All right. So that's the reason why I said my head is burning. My head is on fire. All right. Which is, as I said, is an invisible fire. It's burning there very strongly. And the question is that, is your head burning too? If all our heads are all burning, I can't see your burning head. You can't see my burning head, but it's burning behind it. So let's see what did the Buddha talk about this burning thing. What is really burning, in each of us. All right. So I'm just taking one sutta just to illustrate. There are many, many suttas that talks about the metaphor on fire. But I just want to pick this one because this is simple for us to digest for this morning discussion. So this is taken from Samyutta Nikaya 35.2a, and it's called Adita Sutta. So here the Buddha explains, bhikkhus. So all the monks who were there listening to the Buddha's discourse, the Buddha says, bhikkhu, all is burning. I highlight the word all is burning because this is tied to another sutta called Sabba Sutta. The all, I teach you the all. Another sutta where the Buddha gave a sermon to the bhikkhu, he has used the word all. So this is, the word all here also is linked to the other sutta, Sabba Sutta. So here it says, Sabbam bhikkhave aditang. That is, all is burning bhikkhu. Yeah. And then, what is the all that is burning? So it's good for us to spend a moment this morning just to reflect on the word all what is burning. So kincha bhikkhave sabbang aditang. All right. So there must be something that is burning, all that is burning. So this word all is linked to Dhamma sharing that I've given some time back. I just want to pull that the discussion there so that the word all becomes clarified. Okay, this picture that I've used in my other discussion some time ago, talk about the 6 sense bases. In this example here in the sutta, the Buddha says the 6 sense bases are all on fire. Okay, so as a being that we are born today, as a human being, we have all our sense bases. So the common one we talk about are the 5 sense faculties, including the mind is 6 in total. So in Buddhist discussion, we always say there are 6 sense bases. In science, they always say is 5 sense faculty. So let me just walk through again the 5 senses in the brain. So we have the eye. If the eye is functioning, the eye can see. If the ear is hearing, if the ear is working, functioning, the ear can hear. Same goes with the tongue, the taste, and the nose can smell, and the whole body, we can feel the texture, and that is basically refers as the feeling of touch. Yeah. So this 5 sense basis or 5 sense faculty is constantly in contact with the world. So the 5 sense bases receive the external stimuli, all right, and that is processed by the mind to give what it sees, give what it hears, and what it tastes, and what it touches through the process of perception. So you have the senses sensing the external environment, receiving stimuli, and the mind processes this stimuli and then give interpretation of what is seeing. So each one of us will interpret things differently because our upbringing, because the way we have been educated or the family circumstances. So all this forms perception in us. So when we both see the same thing, we may not come into an agreement what we see because of this, this perception being different. Okay, so we understand that is the 5 sense bases interacting with the world, collecting stimuli, information from the world, the mind process it, and then when it's processed it, then it gives us an interpretation. Okay, so that is the discussion we have done some time back, just to recall that. So this 6 sense based on fire is what is meant by the Buddha. The all is burning. So simply means the eye that we see things is burning, the ear that is hearing is burning, the tongue that is tasting good food is burning, the smell that we get is burning, and the touch is also burning. Yeah. So the Buddha is trying to use that simile or the metaphor to say, fire is burning in all these sense bases. All these sense bases are burning. So the question is, burning with what? What are they burning? What is fueling these sense bases to burn continuously? So it's very good to know to know burning with what? Kena aditang. What is it burning with? So this is what the Buddha said. Burning with the fire of greed, hate, and delusion. You can see the 3 evil roots called greed, hate, and delusion, which I've explained earlier, is actually the fuel that is supplied to this burning phenomena. So as long as there's greed, hatred, and delusion, the fire in us continues to burn. Definitely, each one of us have different level of greed, hate, and delusion. So the kind of fire that's burning in each one of us is of different intensity. Some are very big fire, some are moderate fire, some have small fire. Some of them maybe have come to a point where the fire is slowly, been put off. So there is burning, but the intensity of fire is different from every individual. So because of the greed, hatred, and delusion, we continue to burn in rebirth, coming back, becoming, and then we go to the old age, and then we, the death is on the way. And then this will bring us, because we have this body, it gives us sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress. So the source of the burning, the becoming, is driven by greed, hatred, and delusion. In short, if you link this slide back to the first discourse given by the Buddha, Dhamma Cakkappavattana Sutta, the Buddha said already that in the Four Noble Truths, the second truth tells us that the reason all this keep coming back is because of our greed, our craving for desire, craving for non-desire, craving of birth, craving of non-birth. So all these are so strongly planted in us, and then the fire in us continue to burn and burn and burn and burn. Okay, so let's look at the individual faculty and see how the Buddha goes about describing it. So I'll start off with our eyes is burning. When the eye see object, it's burning. So you can see the way the Buddha described the burning of the eye. The Buddha says the eye is burning. Because the eye sees sight, the sight is also burning. Okay, so when the sight is picked up by the mind, the consciousness part, the eye consciousness is also burning. And then the eye contact with the sight or the object of seeing is also burning. And then the feeling aspect, whether it's painful, pleasant, or neutral, conditioned by the eye contact, is also burning. You can see everything is burning. The eye is burning, the object they're seeing is also burning, the conscious is burning, the contact is burning, the feeling that we derive from the contact are also burning. So burn, burn, burn. Everywhere is burning. Then he says, burning with the fire of greed, hate, delusion, burning with rebirth, old age, death, with sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress. So these words are repeated again and again in all the, the sense faculties, all right? So you take a moment to reflect on this, that because we have this greed and hatred delusion so strongly planted in us, we will always have this desire of wanting something. When I see beautiful things, we want the thing. So the wanting is the one that causes the burning feeling, craving for something. And we know that craving is pitiless, it's so deep that no matter how much you crave, we cannot completely satisfy it. Now, no doubt we will have a short, pleasant moment with what we see, but when that moment is over, we want to see even more. The desire of wanting keep building up. So fire gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you reflect that way, then you can see that things that we see, the only way to stop the fire from becoming bigger is to practice the guarding of our faculty. That's why one of the practice that is heavily encouraged, by the sermons, the teaching of the Buddha, is that we have to ensure that we guard our faculties. So don't see things in very detail. You see things as you see it, but don't look at the features, the detail, because the moment we exercise unwise attention, when we exercise unwise attention to see more of it, then it becomes a fuel to that the burning factor. Okay. So next, let's look at the year. You can see again here, the Buddha walked through each one and told the bhikkhu, the ear is also burning. The ear is meant for hearing. So if the ear is working, the ear can hear. But hearing is fine. But when the hearing is fueled by the three evil roots, then it's not the right way. Hear is fine. Hearing is okay. But hearing is fueled by the three evil roots, then we are providing fuel to burn the hearing itself. So you can see the texts are very similar. The ear is burning. Because the ear is burning, the hearing is burning, the ear consciousness is burning, contact is burning. And then the feeling that's derived from the hearing, either painful, pleasant, and neutral, is also burning due to the contact. And burning with what? Again, you can see the Buddha keep on emphasizing that burning with the fire of greed, hate, and delusion. So burning, so because of the hate, the greed, hate, and delusion is there, so there will be the becoming, there's rebirth. Then because there is becoming, there's rebirth, we have to walk through the old age, the death, and then in the whole process of that period, there'll be sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress. So you can see the Buddha keep on going back again and again with this word, emphasizing it to the bhikkhus. The whole faculties are all burning. So in a summary, all the senses are burning. Yeah, so the tongue is burning, the nose is burning, the touch is burning, the mind is also burning. Burning with what? So it's burning with the fire of greed, hate, delusion. So burning with rebirth, old age, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress. So this is the main gist of the Aditya Sutta, which I've taken. So I just want to close this morning discussion with a few reflections. So from the sutta itself, we can see there are 11 types of fire constantly burning in us. I hope you can see that there's 11 types of fire burning. So first is burning with the fire of greed, hate, and delusion. All right. And then is also burning with the rebirth that is becoming born again, life after life. And because there's a life, we will go through the old age. We are burning with that old age. And then the death is waiting for the end. And then in the whole process, there'll be sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress. You count all this, there are actually 11 of that types of fire that's burning in us. So as a closing remark, this 11 fire burning, it burns all the unenlightened beings. In Pali, we say we are in the Putu janas, the one who are not enlightened or even has not entered the stream, the Arya path. So as long as we have not entered the Arya path, we are enlightened beings. Yeah. So all these 11 fires are burning in us, different intensity depending on our practices. So if we remain in ignorance, not knowing, so we will continue to revolve around the circle or the cycle of birth and death, and will continue to suffer all kinds of suffering. So in a summary, there is a certain level of urgency, if the sutta talks about this, I basically use the metaphor, my head is on fire. So I hope you can see that all our heads are on fire, but the fire is invisible. So there is an urgency for us to get out of this. If not, we will be constantly burning and burning and burning in this cycle of samsaric world. Okay, so with that, I return the control back to Brother Terence. Yeah, thank you very much, brothers and sisters, for this morning sharing on my head is on fire.
Thank you, Brother KC, for today's sharing. Luckily, your head is not physically on fire. Good to hear that. Okay, thank you, everyone. We have did the morning puja and listened to Dhamma sharing by Brother KC. Now let's dedicate some merits to all beings, seeing and unseen. Compose our minds as I read the Pali. Akasata cha bummata devanaga mahidika punyang tam anumoditva chiram rakkantu lokasasanang ettavata cha amhehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva sabbe bhuta sabbe sattha anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. And finally, aspirations. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yavani panapatiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you everyone for watching. Please join us again next week. Bye-bye for now.